weeks since our last video on tension. Now what we've decided to do is to do 2 videos a month for the time being. This is because it gives people enough of time to go over the videos, to share the information with their friends, and to raise that awareness that we're talking about. So at the moment, 2 videos a month. Our goal is still constant. We still intend to get to a point where we can do live streams and have people have an interactive group. People ask questions, we respond, and we share knowledge, and we spread awareness about our health benefits of behaviors, what we can do to improve our health. So okay, today we are just going to focus on what can be done to prevent hypertension or to improve on our blood pressures and stay healthy. Again, remember, we want to improve our wellness. We want to move towards our optimal health. That's always the goal, to move towards our optimal health. So let's begin, guys. Our previous video was on the underlying causes of hypertension, a brief description of how hypertension occurs, okay, how high blood pressure first of all occurs, and then hypertension as a disease. So I have 5 points, major points for you guys on what to do to improve or reverse hypertension, right? Now, if you are on medication, point number 1, if you are on any medication, let your doctor know all the healthy behaviors that you're going to begin in order to improve your life. And just so he is aware, and maybe there would be some adjustment to your medicines, okay? So we're not replacing any doctors here. The intention of these educational videos is to educate, raise awareness, to have everybody live their optimal healthy life. Okay, so just by our lifestyles, our behaviors, we can do a lot to control disease, to prevent disease, and even reverse some diseases. So yes, guys, always go back and see your health professional and discuss certain behaviors if you are already diagnosed with this disease. Okay, number 1, self-monitoring. Monitor your blood pressure now. If you go on your regular physicals, your blood pressure is normal, okay, you're good, right? You undertake healthy behaviors, eat properly, do some regular exercises, you're good. If you have been diagnosed or the doctor says your blood pressure is going up, guy, but maybe you're not yet on medicines. All right, when you get home, you've got to do regular checkups. You've got to monitor your blood pressure to make sure it's not getting out of hand. And if it goes out of hand, what should be done? So self-monitoring is very, very critical. When should you do that? Okay, first of all, there are automatic blood pressure measurement devices that are found in almost all drugstores here in the US, in many places around the world as well. So get yourself one of these, pretty cheap. They cost around anywhere from $30 to $50. You get yourself one, calibrated. This means you do a measurement in the drugstore and have the people in the drugstore do it, some professional do it as well, or you have your doctor in the doctor's office take your blood pressure and you use your own cuff just to ensure that the values are right, okay? Then once you have that, do regular blood pressure measurements. Now choose a time of the day when you're not overexcited or you're not down on certain things, right? Your normal behavior, your normal time of the day. Choose that specific time that you can do regularly. Initially, we can start a few days, every other day or something like that. If your blood pressure is running normal, then you let it be. You can do it weekly. When you see that it's normal, then you can let it go and continue with the healthy behaviors we are going to talk about. If your blood pressure is more unstable, then you want to do it more frequently, guys. You have to take control. take control of your health. We have to do it, all of us. And then we get to the hospitals, to the doctors, when we actually need their help. When there are things we cannot do about it. When we can do stuff about our health, we have to do it in order to stay healthy. Okay, that's number one. Self-monitor your blood pressure. If you're on medication, it goes without saying. You should be doing measurements of your blood pressures more regularly, and jotting down the numbers, okay, so that you can take that back to your doctor and he might do some medication adjustments or even reduction, whatever the case may be. Number one, no matter who you are, if you are told at your physical that your blood pressure is going up, please do regular monitoring. Gauge this by yourself. When you start at home, if it at a specific time, do it at that same time, either every other day, every day initially, until you get a stable value. You get a stable normal value. If you have your blood pressure is high, then do one of the other things I'm going to mention. And these are behaviors that you should have already, as a routine, healthy behaviors. Okay. Number two, manage stress. Please let us all manage stress. I'm saying manage because the world is stressful. There's going to be stressors. We can, we talked about that good and bad stress. Remember, if you have not watched our stress video, please go back and watch our stress video. Stress is there. There's good stress. So if things happen, you want to react accordingly, and then the reaction should stop. It shouldn't go forever. So we want to avoid bad stress. We want to be able to do things that are going to drive down stress. Think positively. Anytime you begin to think negative about something, find a solution to that thing, or find its replacement with a positive thought. So that's pretty critical, because as you know, any other behavior might be perfect, but if we are constantly stressed, it negates everything else. Let me tell you why. Number one, all those stress relieving hormones, stress hormones that are in the blood, and steroids, corticosteroids and things that are in the blood are going to be creating some chemistry which is not going to be very favorable for the body long term. Number two, whenever we are excessively stressed, nutrients are being consumed by certain enzymes. Magnesium minerals are being consumed, and a lot of vitamins are being consumed, including vitamin C. So we become easily deficient in a lot of these nutrients. So that's another critical reason why we have to keep stress down. Okay, number three, exercise or movement. I've talked about exercise a lot, and there are millions of studies, okay, easily around the world about the benefits, the multiple benefits of exercise. Every time, I can't stress this enough. So exercise itself is going to help drive down your blood pressure. Again, I mentioned the reason for this in our previous hypertension video. It releases this compound called nitric oxide, which is going to relax blood vessels. Already right there, decreasing your stress. Fourth point, eat healthy foods. Eat healthy diets. What are healthy diets? Whole foods, mostly plant-based foods. Now, in terms of hypertension, leafy greens are powerful, very powerful in decreasing blood pressure. We talked about this briefly also in our previous video. Leafy greens will have a lot of phytonutrients, minerals, a lot of some vitamins as well, and it will have potassium and magnesium, which are really, really essential in relaxing the blood vessels. So right there and then you can see how green leafy vegetables are going to be very effective in assisting with the reduction or management in blood pressure or hypertension. Fifth point, sleep. I cannot stress enough how important sleep is. I know a lot of us say, okay, I don't need too much sleep. Okay, we're talking about restorative sleep. Sleep that when you wake up, you know that you are rested, you're ready to go, you've been rejuvenated. Because during sleep, a lot of things happen, and we will talk about that in another future video. A lot of restorative actions occur in the body. So sleep, absolutely critical. If we're not sleeping, we're going to be stressed. The stress hormones are going to be high. So again, there you can see the effects of that kind of behavior, not sleeping enough. So restorative sleep, mostly between, for most people, is average 6 to 8 hours. Some people a little less can get away with it, not too much less than 6 hours, guys. And some people are fine with about around 8 hours, not too much more than that either. So okay, everyone should know their bodies, right? Listen to your body. When you wake up in the morning, if you are a 5 hour, 6 hour sleeper, you wake up in the morning and are feeling groggy, guy, you are not a 5 hour sleeper. You have not gotten restorative sleep. So we need to stress on that. Sleep is quite important. Okay, around the world. Around the world, what most people do, and I've noticed, is stress relief. The things that they do in order to relieve stress is what actually helps drive down their blood pressure or assist with hypertension. Again, please watch both videos if you did not. Also, please subscribe so you will know when we have videos out. Now, as I've said, every twice a month, we're going to have good videos that you can take away messages from them. They are slightly long, 20 to 30 minutes, but these topics demand such length. Okay, so people do things to reduce stress, and all of those things assist as well in decreasing or helping to control and decrease hypertension. Now, another point is in some parts of West Africa, which I know there have been studies on a certain plant called bitter leaves. Many people know bitter leaves, and I can look here for its scientific name. Bitter leaves called Vennonia amygdala. Vennonia amygdala. Dahlia grows a lot in West African countries, but in many other countries as well. And these leaves are especially bitter, but they have powerful compounds, vitamins A, C, E, B1, B2. They have a lot of minerals, and they have magnesium in high quantity, and magnesium and potassium. Now, as you know, the greener and the more intense a plant or a food's color is, the more phytonutrients it has, it goes without saying. So these plants having such deep green color and actually having such bitter taste has those properties that the body actually needs. Now, if you are someone who is familiar with bitter leaves and you eat bitter leaves, or you have it in the house somewhere in other parts of the world where it grows, don't overdo these things. It's been known, studied as well, that bitter leaves, on top of its multiple other benefits, health benefits, it's also good for hypertension, for decreasing high blood pressure. Now, don't overdo it. And if you are on medication, you want to let your provider know that this is what you would like to start doing. Taking some greens, some bitter leaves, maybe raw, drink a juice out of that, juice these greens and drink, and let him know so that he might be able to assist you, that your blood pressure doesn't go way too low. Okay, so if you are a regular human being not having any hypertension as a disease but want to prevent it and you want to live healthy, you're not on medication, please, what you can do is start slow. You can take a leaf every so often, see how your body reacts to that, adjust accordingly. We are very unique individuals, so adjust accordingly. This is a food, so it's not supposed to hurt you unless you're on certain medications. Okay, so these are the 5 most important points I wanted to draw your attention to. That's what some people do in our West African countries, maybe also other parts of Africa, I'm not yet aware. But in general, green leafy vegetables all have, to a certain extent, these products, these nutrients that we've talked about, providing the nitric oxide that is going to be created in the stomach, and that nitric oxide is going to relieve the blood vessel, releases the blood vessel, relax them, and allow for the pressure to go down. On top of that, they have also chemicals and minerals that are going to be useful for blood pressure. So, to summarize, to decrease your hypertension or the chances of getting hypertension. Thank you. Subscribe and see you in the